I'm really just ready to start my life. Good morning, beautiful. So I wanted to start a new series where basically we just really chit chat and discuss and hang out in the comments. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna call this part of it, but it's basically gonna be like a digital diary per se of my inner thoughts that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. And I'm not the only person going through a lot of the things that I want to talk about. So if you have similar parallels, hi, welcome, and hopefully this will inspire you and encourage you that everything's gonna be just okay. So I want to talk about kind of what's been on my mind about like the power of pivoting and continuing to embrace change and what all that comes with that. It's not always so like pitchy peaches and cream. If you're new here, my name is Bessie. Hi. I am in the process of moving from Los Angeles to London, so a very drastic change in my life. And I moved out of my apartment back in June of 2023. So since then, I've been pretty much in New York, but also just kind of like traveling and seeing the world and just navigating life and figuring out life. Although sometimes I find myself like, oh my gosh, like this is like really chaotic. I am making a very drastic change. Making it through this chapter is really preparing me for this next chapter. And I feel like I know everything is for a reason, and I'm learning to have gratitude in that, but still acknowledging the way that I feel going through the process of that. To catch up, if you've seen my last video, if you haven't, please go check it out. It's my Tokyo vlog. I briefly mentioned that I was shaken up because of my apartment in London. So I'm supposed to be moving into my apartment March 1st. But on my way to Tokyo, I received a text from my apartment complex saying like, hey, are you free for a quick call? And I'm about to get on the plane. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I know this is not good. And there's no way I'm about to sit on a plane for 12 hours and ponder about what isn't good. So I was like, you have to send me an email. I'm getting on a plane, but please just send me a full update. So they basically say that the contractor has faced internal issues that could delay my moving by 3 months. I'm like, no. I really just am ready to start my life. Like, I'm really just ready to start my life, make new friends, get my little places in order, start dating, and start what it is, getting towards what it is that I want, but not realizing that in these moments, I am preparing myself for what it is that I want. And I can't just like continue to ignore things because this is the most important part. But ego is telling me like, no, this is just actually the most chaotic part, and I'm ready to get out of the chaos. But I'm learning to lean into what I think is really chaos, but it's really not that chaotic because all is well. Like I'm able to spend time with family, save money, and work on myself strictly without any like real stressors of being an adult. So I'm grateful for that. And I think what really just needs to happen is I just need a strong routine. I need boundaries and I need a strong, consistent routine in the midst of all of this, because anything external is really just noise and what I think is chaos. But I just need to get back to myself and prioritizing me, because I feel like it's become really easy to just go with the flow every single day because I know I'm in a temporary place. So I'm not really acknowledging like, no, even though this is temporary, like you still need something that is secure. in you so that things like that won't throw you off so bad. So having a routine, I've realized, is what I need and what's important. And I'm grateful to like have the self-awareness to just feel what it is I'm feeling and acknowledge it. That way I can move forward properly. And I can't blame any outside external things for what's lacking within me. Like, that's not fair to myself. Like, girl, get it together. What that looks like right now is, right now I'm just trying to find balance. So the next few weeks I will be staying in New York. I won't be like going anywhere else for no reason. And just taking these next few weeks to really establish a strong routine. I think my next video will be like a day in a life, so I can kind of update you guys on what that means to me and what that looks like for me. Your morning is the start of your whole day. Like, it reflects your whole day. So that's so important outside of skincare, to have something to just like fully pour into myself. And then your night is your evening. It's your reflection of your day. It's a reflection of yourself. And I feel like I've been missing those things to just like really like bring me back to me. So finding that balance of what's going on around me, because I am in like a very different space. Their routines are different from what my routines used to look like. So finding those pockets of time to balance out and have my solitude, because I'm so used to being by myself, and like not being by myself for the past few months. It's like yearning for it. Like, okay, like what part of the day is like in their routine will I have me time for my routine? Now I just need to also focus and prioritize me and myself along with that, but consistently. The most important thing during this entire experience is keeping God at the center. I think that's why I always find myself like at peace no matter what happens, because I'll never lose. So I have God, and everything is going to be okay, and everything is going to work out exactly how it needs to. And I feel like God has also been just like placing signs in my life that I'm on the right path and that I am going in the right direction, and just like helping me see visions of what my life is going to be. Like, I have a vision board, but it's like a vision board scrapbook of 2024. And I have God on each page. I have God at the center, whether that's scripture or whatever it may be, at the center of each single page to remind me, like, this is the most important. Like, this is the most important. This is what's going to get me here. Because you can't do everything by yourself. You just can't. You have to believe in something, whether that's God, whoever, whatever higher power you believe in, that needs to be at the center. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very hard to navigate through these different experiences in life. I was listening to a sermon the other day, and I sent it to my mom, and while I was listening to it, I'm like, you talking to me? Can't make this up. So that's what really like just keeping me going, and like working on like building a brand in the midst of all of this. I'm just trying to find consistency in that, and like making that a part of my routine. Take action with that, building the foundation of who it is that I'm becoming, because I'm in that in-between space where you're not fully in your new self, but you're out of your old self. So it's not lost. You're learning to kind of adapt and navigate what this new version of you is. While I'm doing that, I'm also in the midst, it's like similar. I'm not living in LA anymore, but I'm not in London yet. I'm in between space. I'm just acknowledging like this is the most important part. So like, although I'm like, I just want to start my life, like I am, like this is part of it. This is probably the most important part. And if I was writing a book, this would probably be the most transformative chapter. Like if someone were reading a book about me, and like these years of her life really shaped her into like who she is and who she is now. And you're always going to continue to evolve and change, but I feel like that's what this chapter is. So this is really the shaping and the molding and creating and just leaning in to so many different things and being so many different things and becoming. There's just so many lessons in it. It's not just preparing yourself to move. I'm moving into so many different things. I'm not just moving to London. I'm not just changing location. I'm really becoming a different person. every single day. And I feel like the past few months I've unintentionally like lost sight of it, but consciously still doing it. And I just need to reconnect the two so that I don't allow ego to convince me that things are chaotic when it's literally not. So either way, long story short, I'm still going to London. I came to that conclusion, like, girl, just get an Airbnb, because just pivot. If you want to be there in March and start doing whatever it is that you want to do, then do that. If it's not meant to do that at March, then I'll be pivoted again. But as of right now, that's what it's going to be. Some tips for establishing routines that I've come to terms with is just recognizing what fills me up, pours into my cup, because your morning is going to carry on. So outside of skincare, like, what feels like the sun to me, because the sun to me is just be bathed by the sun. That's skincare, reading, writing, chatting, pouring into my passions, and finding balance between work, what you're doing for work, and your passions. Maybe you might have to get up earlier. Maybe you need 2 hours before you really like start facing this world and everything that comes with it. So just getting clear on what that means, and then having an evening routine as well to just kind of wind down and reset and prep you for the next day. Maybe you want to journal reflecting on your day and like being grateful for today, or just anything that may have happened, just acknowledging it and learning to like not ignore. That's gonna kind of help me balance out everything. In closing, all is well. You're gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Continue to lean into the empowerment of pivoting and not see it as like nothing is good or bad. It's just the way we perceive things. Although something may look bad, it's really not, because it's really probably for your own good. The sun is great. I have no idea what I could be protected from with that situation, or if God is just giving me more time with family before I'm super far, or if God is giving me time to take my time to effectively look at other places, because now I can go somewhere else. You just never know. Everything is coming in divine timing. It's so important to continue to lay these foundations for your best self and what that looks like to you, so that you can be best prepared to receive it, or you can put yourself in positions to be able to receive anything. Recognize what it is that you want and go after it, and like don't let outside noise convince you to just not do anything. You continue to embrace change and adapt to new circumstances, and most importantly, continue to prioritize self-care and whatever that looks like to you. That could look like giving yourself an extra 30 minutes to sleep in the morning, anything. Just continuing to listen to yourself and listen to your body and your mind. And I would love if you guys would come hang out with me in the comments and just kind of give me your thoughts, or if you have any tips on establishing a strong routine, or even if you would like to share your routine and what that looks like to you, like what makes you happy. It's a safe space. And if you haven't seen my first 2 videos, please go check them out. The first one's about embracing change, and I talk about my move to London and I'm moving all my stuff out of LA. And then my second video is my Tokyo vlog, and it's a lot of fun stuff in there, as well as my feelings around like what it's like to pray for freedom and like embracing like solitude. Yeah, we're gonna keep growing and connecting and getting closer and just really navigating these years in these different spaces. And I know I'm not the only person doing this, so again, I hope that inspires you, and I'll see you guys in the comments. I'll see you guys this weekend, and I hope everyone has a beautiful, beautiful day.